Hey there, this is your favorite human friend who likes to wear fluffy slippers. And we have a question here that's very important. It's asked by Mr. or Mrs. Helium. Says, my friend, hello, welcome. Says, I've been religiously watching, etc., etc. I have made a mistake to pick up tons of different altcoins at the bottom. Some have performed better than others. I am reluctant to sell the poop for better ones as the prices have gone up for my entries. Please suggest or make a video to how to enlighten or rebalance. So Mr. Helium wants to know how to rebalance the portfolio. Thanks and lots of love. You are truly among the 0.1%. No, you are my friend. You are the 100% friendship and kindness that we need in this world. So I have replied here already, but I need to let everyone know. I want you all to see this comment. Do you see right here? Don't do any rebalancing. You haven't even seen the real move yet. I'm even going to show you right now. The time to rebalance is when Bitcoin's 40,000. I just threw that number in, okay? Don't hold my feet to the fire there, because please, we do have fluffy slippers. They're extra fluffy. I don't know if they can withstand a lot of the fiery coal burning. So crypto can stay dead for a while, and then it can shoot up. Others are going to move instantly. No one knows which ones will move instantly or which one will go next. That is the truth, my friends. And so it's really important because I understand where you're coming from. I really do. I know this is what most people talk about. They talk about rebalancing. And I think it's really important to look at the most common mistakes that investors make, especially in crypto. It is when we don't see anything moving. And why is that? It's because when we have a smaller part of the industry in any asset class, it takes time for players to actually understand the value that they are looking at. It takes time for them to reprice higher. You need a certain inflection point to be reached in the big daddy. It happens in gold with the specky stocks. It happens in silver. It happens in the stock market with tech stocks. It definitely happens in crypto. And of course, our big daddy is Bitcoin herself. And of course, if we knew this exact price point, we could save ourselves a lot of time. But first and foremost, I'd just like to give you some few points. So Mr. Helium, you got to understand this, okay? The best portfolio to hold is the one where you are okay if it drops minus 99% tomorrow and you are still stuck for another 3 years. This is a realistic approach for crypto, all right? In the stock market, Warren Buffett would say, the best portfolio is the one you hold for 10 years. That's what he says. He always talks about 10 years. So we obviously don't have 10 years in crypto. We should. We definitely should. But you know how fast this space moves. Obviously, it's very controversial what happens in just 12 months. But when we're looking at this is the perspective to have. And we do have the zombie virus. You remember the zombie virus is a perfect example. A perfect example. This is a blessing that we can actually look at it. So when the zombie virus came, everyone was looking at it and were thinking, uh-oh, it is game over. Who survived? The people who were willing to say, okay, this has gone to zero. You can go to negative numbers, or maybe we go back the other way. Those were the people who survived. So you really got to believe in what you're holding. But of course, the most common investor mistake, my friend, is when you have two coins. So for example, you've got, let's say you've got multiple coins. You've got one coin that's gone up like this, and you've got one coin that's like gone down. All right. Now, this is where it gets a bit painful because there are contradictions in investing, just like in life. So what would most influencers tell you? So for example, I remember Max Kaiser talking about Bitcoin. He would say investors hold on to their losers and they will take profit on their winners. So that's what he says investors will do. So he would suggest, and he would tell everybody, he'd say, okay, well, you should be selling your loser. So we're here. We should be selling your little loser. We'll do a little poopy here. And then you should be adding to your winners. Yes, of course, you put a little star here for, yay, we're going to add, right? So that's what most people say. But if you run this scenario out long enough, you'll find you actually get crushed because the market is in range mode 80% of the time. Yes. So most of the time, we're in range mode. So we go up. You think we're going to keep going up, and it's the beginning. It's only 1/3 of the move done. So you think we've got another 3x to go. But what you don't know is it's going to drop by like 2/3. That's most of the time what happens, especially in crypto. Happens in stocks, happens many, many places. So on average, what you should be doing is holding or adding to the one going down. But this is where I've said it's contradictory, because people are going to say, well, you are adding to a loser. You shouldn't do that. And that's why this game is really hard. It is not easy to give a formula for anything. That's why I do my work and research for you to show you network effects. That's why I try to get an edge. That's why when I show you, for example, the PulseChain adoption numbers and Hex adoption numbers, that's why we see people going up, but the prices were going down. You're like, what do I do? Well, at least we have a belief that with the network and the community still there, it will translate to something new. We see ChainLink as well, the nodes going higher. It's the same story. But it's all about that inflection point. Where does Bitcoin need to hit for the market to wake up? You know, there were many points that this happened in the past for Bitcoin where people thought it was over for altcoins, and then everything just started zooming up. So traditionally, when Bitcoin breaks the all-time high, which used to be $1,150, we had a burst upwards. And then we actually had a second leg. It was for Bitcoin went in for its next leg from like 5 to 7K up to 20K. And that's when it stopped. So this did not repeat again. Not exactly the same way. In the next cycle, this was the interesting part. This was the plus token Ponzi run. So even though Bitcoin ran up, there was no point of inflection. Altcoins did not do anything in here. It was just a Bitcoin and Ethereum run. It was primarily Bitcoin. Because of the plus token Ponzi, it was interesting. Plus token was giving yield, fake yield, on Bitcoin. So people were putting it in, people in China putting in their Bitcoin, and the online platform was telling them that they were getting 1% per week. They were obviously in a Ponzi. It was all a giant Ponzi, one of the biggest in the world, $1 billion plus, and they got nothing. So it's very interesting. Now we have other projects and products that do give yield for real. So you can kind of see maybe it's going to be a bit different this time. But also, after the zombie virus happened here, what was the point of inflection? This is something interesting to look at. When we had recovered back, all right, recovered back after the Bitcoin halving, so this vertical line is the Bitcoin halving, after we recovered back, then we had DeFi season continue and pop off. So, right, this is like something to think about. The first time we hit 10K, no one cared. The second time we hit 10K, DeFi season. So the same price can get a different reaction for the altcoins and for your balancing of your portfolio. But on average, this is what you have to consider, because I don't know the coins in there. And hey, it's really important for you to understand this, that there is no magic answer. And what I've said to you, is you shouldn't even be rebalancing now. The goal is, my goal is, you can do what you want. My goal is you hold until Bitcoin is literally euphoric. People are euphoric. I'd love to say 150K, 200K, but if they scam us at the $80,000 mark, perhaps that's what's going to happen, friend. So when you have a look at this and you're saying, okay, you have different coins in your portfolio, you have to decide what ratio of them you are happy to hold, even if you sit in the range mode for longer than you expect. Because I can show you some charts, they absolutely did that. Here's one example, MATIC, for example. So MATIC launched, ICO, went up. You can see now, oh, it's going, no, it's not range. Oh, it's going, no, it's not range. Oh, it's going, no, it's not range again. Look at this, 1, 2, 3, just absolutely psyching everyone out. It took, like 2 years before it finally went up. Of course, this is survivorship bias again, because yes, even though MATIC went up and it was one of my prophecies and I was in this, we did not know it was going to go this much. It just got luckily to be the chosen coffee coin, whatever it is. And it's definitely not going to repeat this run in the next one. So we don't know. You want to, I know what you want to do. You want to keep adding to the winner. But the problem is you don't know how far your winner will go, and you don't know from where it will start to run, because you could be adding at the top of your ranges. You'll be screwing yourself every time. So you might be selling, if you have 2 coins, you might be selling. So let's say you could not see the right-hand side, right? You could not see what was coming on the right-hand side. When it comes up here, you might be saying, oh, wow, this MATIC thing looks promising. Let me go sell my other coin minus 50% to buy this. And then look what happens. So you buy this, now you're 50% down on this as well. So now you're actually down like 75%. And then MATIC's gone for a run. You're like, okay, that's it. The break is now here. Let me sell another coin that's 50% down. Let me go buy it up here. Surprise, surprise. Here you go. You watch this go down 80%. That's like you lost 90% of your money if you add the maths on that. And then imagine you did it again. You go, all right, now we're ready for round 3. This was actually DeFi season. You're going, okay, let's go. DeFi season, Ethereum to the moon. Here we go. And of course, it comes and punishes you again. So imagine this 3 times you sold your loser to come and do this, and then you got to sit through this. Now, I'm looking at an ultimate winner that came up, but you have to be prepared for these. So on average, if you have multiple coins, you have your different coins here, you have to look at them yourself and say, don't look at each coin individually. You have to draw a nice, cute box of friendship around them, and you have to think of them as one allocation. So this is one allocation. This is Mr. Helium's, maybe the friendship allocation, whatever it is. It's 5%, 10%. You look at this basket and you say, okay, I am holding this basket until, and whatever you think the goal is, the target is. You might say, well, $40,000 Bitcoin is nice. Or you might say until someone gets euphoric again. Or you might even say you're holding until 12 months after the halvening. That will most likely get the most reward, but it will be the toughest, I know, mentally for everybody to do that, because you have to watch it go up and down. I mean, look, I just showed you MATIC was a super winner. Look at this pain it went through. And this is a winner. Imagine all the other ones that went through, because there's a lot of pain. There is so much pain out there. I mean, if you want to see some pain, like there's for example, you have Tezos, friends. Tezos just is gone absolutely nowhere. Very unfortunate. I mean, have a look at this. What are you doing? You've been going sideways for, oh my God, here we go. Like just 2,100 days, Tezos. So, you know, this is the sad part. This is the sad part. Like all these times you think, okay, now it's time to really go. They got a good community, and bang, and bang, and bang, and bang, and then bang, of course. It just comes back to what it was doing in 2018. So the only difference between Tezos, XTZ here, and MATIC and anything else is the fact that the community was about to expand. So you got to look at your coins and say, all right, at some point in the future, it might not be in the next 90 days. You might say, all right, between now and December 2024 or December 2025, you have a vision for how big you think the community in whatever coin you're holding. You have a vision for how big you think you can get, and that's it. You hold it until the end. You absolutely hold it. Because, you know, it sounds easy, doesn't it? But even if we go for it, I'm just going to finish off on MATIC again. I just want to show you this because MATIC, look when MATIC actually started pumping. MATIC started pumping here with Bitcoin. All right, this is the interesting part. So MATIC started pumping. This is when Bitcoin started going up. But the biggest move came when Bitcoin finally hit the top. You see this? So this is really important to see. I'm going to get the ruler out just to show you. So I'm going to, right here, Bitcoin had peaked. Do you remember Coinbase IPO around here? Coinbase IPO. So, I mean, these distances look a lot, but let's say you had a middle price of average here. Let's say you knew, for example, you go, aha, Bitcoin is stopping at $60,000 and that's the top. You could see the future. Imagine you got out your MATIC here. You got a 16x. But look, it ends up going 130x. You see this number? 130x. So you got out for a 16x and then it stops and then the market reprices MATIC as a new layer 2 that's probably going to go nowhere in the future. Don't worry about it. But it gives 100x. You'll never forgive yourself. You see how tough this game is? This game is tough. That's why there is no formula. I mean, look at this. You got it right. You held the whole way. You imagine you knew the future. You go, that's it. MATIC, Bitcoin is stopping at 60K. Therefore, I'm going to get out all of my altcoins. And guess what? As Bitcoin went down, this went again like another 8x on top of the 13x, 10x you already made. So you see this? This is a fantastic example to show you that the only person who made it to the very end is someone who said, that's it, hero or bust. That's literally it. So, of course, we're not going to have that attitude the whole way, but you have to just accept that you are in your basket and the answer is not to rebalance. It's not to rebalance. The most of the time, 99% of occasions, the answer is to just literally leave everything there and wait until the end. But is there an exception? Yeah, there is. If you're holding one, two, let's say you're holding like 5 coins in one together, and one of them literally goes up like 800% over one season, and the others haven't moved. Of course, you might say, "Hey, let me rebalance." But I'm talking about a decent move. If these things are only up like 200, 300%, you got to start looking at the basket, friends. So I hope this explains it to you. This is the way that's worked in the past. We don't know if it's going to work again. Ultimately, it's up to you. You have to look at the basket yourself. We don't know what's going to come next, and we never will. All you have is faith. All right. So we're hoping, faithful, that we're going to see the signs of euphoria and we're going to try front run the crowd. That's all we can do. We don't know if we're holding something that's going to go minus 50%, minus 100%, 2x, 10x, or 100x, or 1000x. It really is a lottery and is a casino, and everyone's coming in for it. Thank you very much. Liking and subscribing, pressing the bell button and all. Tell mum and dad we still love them. We're going to make it. Catch you in the next one.